The City of Phoenix and Valley Metro are thrilled to announce that on Saturday, June 7th, the South Central Extension and Downtown Hub will officially open to the public.
This June, Phoenix will see the launch of the South Central Downtown Hub light rail extension, marking a significant advancement in the city's transit development. So, why did they decide to extend this rail? How did they manage to complete the project? Let's find out in today's episode of Great Trainspeed. Set to open on June 7, 2025, the South Central Light Rail Extension Downtown Hub project marks a decisive advancement in Phoenix's public transit strategy. Led by Valley Metro Rail, the extension adds 5.5 miles to the light rail system, expanding service southward from downtown Phoenix to the South Mountain Village core, an area long identified as one of the most transit-dependent and historically underserved communities in the city. The timing of this expansion aligns closely with a broader trend of recovering and growing ridership. Valley Metro's annual ridership data from fiscal year 2020 to 2024 paints a clear picture of disruption, followed by steady recovery. After reaching 52.5 million trips in fiscal year 2020, system-wide usage fell dramatically in fiscal year 2021 due to the COVID-19 pandemic, with total ridership dropping to 27.5 million and rail ridership declining to 6.5 million. Yet as service resumed and public confidence returned, readership began to climb again. By fiscal year 2024, total boardings had rebounded to nearly 36.9 million, with rail usage alone rising to 11 million, approaching pre-pandemic levels. This strong and sustained return to public transit has highlighted the necessity of expanding capacity and coverage, particularly in high-demand corridors like South Central Phoenix. At its core, the project responds directly to this renewed demand and persistent transportation need. In the South Central corridor, nearly 44% of residents lack reliable access to private vehicles, making public transit not just a convenience, but a lifeline. The extension strengthens regional connectivity by linking historically underserved neighborhoods to key employment centers, healthcare providers, educational institutions such as Arizona State University, and critical infrastructure like Phoenix Sky Harbor International Airport.
Families, I believe it could open up a lot of opportunities. Some families only have one car.
Valley Metro predicts the new extension will bring in more than 8,000 daily riders to the light rail system, which currently serves approximately 35,000 boardings per day. As ridership continues to rise, the expansion ensures the network can meet today's demand while laying the groundwork for a more connected and equitable urban future. The extension also introduces a significant operational change. For the first time, Phoenix will run a two-line light rail system. The A line will operate between Gilbert Road, Main Street, and Mesa, and the new downtown hub, while the B line will connect Metro Parkway in Northwest Phoenix to Baseline Road, Central Avenue. These lines intersect at the downtown hub, a high-capacity interchange designed to simplify transfers and boost overall system efficiency. With 8 new stations, from Jefferson 3rd Avenue to Southern Avenue, the corridor is structured to maximize access while minimizing travel time. Infrastructure enhancements include a special-use platform, additional track work in the downtown core, and a significant expansion of the existing operations and maintenance center to support the purchase of 14 new light rail vehicles. 2 park and ride facilities are being built to support last-mile connectivity. But the project extends well beyond transit. It incorporates enhanced bike lanes, pedestrian-friendly sidewalks, and over 550 new desert-adapted trees, designed to combat the urban heat island effect and improve walkability. More than 30 miles of aging underground utilities have been replaced or upgraded during construction, creating long-term benefits beneath the surface. The project's timeline began back in 2012, when Valley Metro launched the planning phase to address mobility barriers and expand equitable access to transit. The foundation was laid in 2015, when Phoenix residents approved the Transportation 2050. This voter-backed initiative introduced a 0.7-cent city sales tax dedicated to improving the city's transit network, including light rail expansion. The plan created a long-term, city-controlled funding source expected to generate $16.7 billion over 35 years. Just as important, it unlocked an additional $14.8 billion in matching contributions from federal, county, and regional partners. This early and reliable access to capital allowed the project team to begin design and construction work without the financial uncertainty that often delays major infrastructure builds. By January 2017, the Federal Transit Administration, FTA, had issued environmental clearance, paving the way for design work led by AECOM. Construction officially began in 2019, with Kiewit overseeing construction management and Cardno providing survey and utility engineering services. By March 2025, the extension was already 96% complete, and testing had begun. Community celebrations greeted the arrival of the first train at Baseline Road, marking not just a construction milestone, but the near finish of a complex, multi-year effort. Federal funding support added another layer of confidence. On March 9, 2021, the project secured a $529.8 million grant through the Federal Transit Administration's Capital Investment Grants Program, covering nearly 40% of the total project cost, which is estimated between around $1.3 billion. It also received $108 million from the Federal Highway Administration to support street improvements and multimodal upgrades along the corridor. These funds enabled early procurement of essential materials, vehicles, and equipment, insulating the timeline from supply chain volatility and inflation-driven cost spikes that affected many U.S. construction projects in the same period. In an industry where cost overruns and missed deadlines are common, the South Central Light Rail extension demonstrates what's possible when strategic vision meets execution. It's the delivery of a transit system built with long-term impact in mind, creating pathways not just for trains, but for a more inclusive and better connected Phoenix. So, how might passengers respond to the new service? Now that we've talked about faster service and better connections, do you think this new extension will truly improve daily travel for Phoenix riders? Drop a 1 if you agree, or 0 if you're not sure yet. Public reactions to the South Central Light Rail extension have been overwhelmingly positive, reflecting both anticipation and appreciation for the improvements it brings to Phoenix's transit landscape. Riders have welcomed the introduction of a two-line system, expressing hope that it will also bring enhanced transit signal priority through the often congested downtown corridor. Many noted that the revised weekday frequency, every 12 minutes until 7 p.m., marks a significant step forward, especially for those who rely on consistent and timely service for work or school. One highlighted that moving from 15 minutes to 12 minutes is actually a really big deal, and expressed enthusiasm for even shorter headways in the future. Others were simply glad to see a concrete launch date after years of planning and construction, with sentiments like, "Can't wait," and "Looking forward to what it brings to South Phoenix," capturing the community's growing excitement. These reactions emphasize a broader sense of momentum, not just for a new rail line, but for a city moving toward a more reliable and inclusive transit future. Furthermore, while the completion of the South Central Light Rail extension has been met with enthusiasm, it has also sparked forward-looking questions from the community. Some passengers are already asking whether this milestone paves the way for construction to begin on the Capitol and West Phoenix extensions. The logic behind this curiosity is clear. With one major corridor completed, could resources, attention, and momentum now shift to the next phases of development? As the South Central line begins service, it naturally raises expectations for what comes next, and whether the same level of coordination, funding, and political will can be applied to accelerate the system's continued growth westward. Thanks for riding with us today. Subscribe and see you on the next great Trainspeed stop.